And so we treated her one treatment and got immediate results that were very encouraging. So what I did was I couldn't dedicate company time and money to this project because you have to support us if you want us to do that. I mean, where does the money come from? And our money's dedicated to certain projects. Her family didn't have money. I don't have the money to go on this personally or the time. So what I could do was, since we got results, was I gave her one of these handheld units and said, use it and come back and see me once a week. I'll show you what happened. This is before, just an elbow, sort of like leprosy. Look at this. Now this picture was taken, it really healed up very well, then she fell on it. And this is after the second injury. I mean, it was so nice and neat looking until she fell on it. This is after the second, but can you see the difference there? What this can do? We told her one 15-minute treatment a day just to see what it does, and she treated herself. So what this is exciting about is the indications of what biophotonics can do in the future when we have the time and the money to truly explore it. That was really, she really touched my heart quite a bit, and I'm glad. The one thing she did say was that after the second or third day, she was able to get off her pain medication. And she said, Mellen, that alone is worth it. To have my mind back, to be sharp again, and she got off her pain medication. And like I said earlier, I haven't met a doctor yet that thinks that's a bad idea. And that was all done with this handheld unit. Now, what I'm going to show you next is our latest and really most exciting discoveries. And you're going to be the first public crowd to see it because we've been keeping it very secret up till now, until all the patents and research was done. We have been very interested this last year in immune system boosting. And my equation was, I want to be able to boost your immune system in 5 minutes. That's the new paradigm. Can we do this in 5 minutes to anybody? We have been 101% successful. We have dark field microscopes. That's one of my funny posters. This is from a museum. Show about paradigm shifts. This was put up when they started putting electric lights in people's houses. People would try to light them with matches. Because from the beginning of human time till Edison, to light a light, you had to go to the source and light it. So back in those days, to stand over at the wall and light a light over here was mind-blowing. You've seen kids do it, right? Back then, adults would come in out of the country to stand there and do this. I mean, that's in all the reports. So it says, do not attempt. It's no way harmful to the body, and nor does it affect sound of sleep. They had to caution everybody about this new thing, this new light thing. Paradigm shifts are very interesting. We're going through one again, a major one in several levels, mentally, physically, and spiritually. This is the times, the 1990s is just like the 1890s. We're going to take the leap from the oil lamp to the light bulb. That's the leap we're about to take again, and photonics is one of those leaps. So it's a very exciting time if you're an entrepreneur or got an eye, and if you've studied history, you know it's about to repeat itself, and so you can get in the middle of it if you want to. It's very, very open right now. Past turn of the century, all the companies will have it locked up, and you'll have to work for a company to get involved with it probably. But right now, it's like the early days of radio. Anybody can get in it. It's fun. But it will very soon become a big major industry, believe me. So paradigm shifts happen, and we have to be educated. We have to get used to it. And it was a while before people stopped breaking all the switches, and we finally got over that. Now, who stands around doing that nowadays? But people used to do it and love it. So we have dark field microscopes, all that kind of stuff to study cellular work now, and have hired good experts and all that. I'm going to show you something that hasn't been exhibited in public before, and that's our cellular work that we've been doing. And again, we have been 101% successful so far in everybody that's come in the door. Okay. This is one of the cells in your immune system, one of your white cells, basophil. And this is typically what they look like in people if you look under the microscope. They're round, they're spherical. Typically, most of the time. Now, they're not really supposed to look like that. And these, when they do blood counts, they take these as healthy cells, by the way, so your blood count thing could be a little off. But this is a typical, in people over 25 especially, from what we've seen, and we've done a lot of these studies, round, spherical, it's just sitting there. You could have this on the microscope a half an hour and it would not do anything, typically. It just kind of sit around, and its job is to be the house cleaner of your body. Now, what I'm going to show you next is just a 5-minute exposure. When it gets free form like this, that means it's doing its job and it's very healthy, at least with the people that we work with and our experts. It was moving all over the place. In fact, I've had to train the microscope people to be movie camera people because they're not used to this stuff moving like it does. They go, wow. And they've been wanting to show this footage for a while. We said, no, not till we've got all our ducks in a row. But this cell is now a super healthy cell, but we have been able to repeat this every time with everybody that's come in the door, no matter what their age, belief system, or diet, which is interesting. Now, I'm going to show you a sequence here. This is all transferred from videotape, by the way. Everything we do is videotaped, even the microscope stuff. Now, we were watching the cell, and the blood people were amazed about moving all around, but suddenly they noticed this. This cell's being attacked by an organism. Watch what happens. And we've been able to catch this more than once now. This is an organism that's attacking this cell. And watch what happens. Suddenly, it's down here working, and it gets a signal, and you can see it turning. It gets some sort of signal, which, again, Cleve Baxter can explain in detail. And it heads up here, and very quickly, if you saw the videotape, very quickly, pushes the cell out of the way, goes up to the organism, nips it, destroys it, and then moves on, leaving a little nip in the cell there. This is the same cell you saw a minute ago. You want to see that again? Okay. One of the cells of the immune system. We were able to, we're doing very specific studies right now. Okay. Typically, it's a basophil. Yeah. Pardon me? Okay, anyway. Yeah, but this is one. Okay? This is, you have many there are many cells involved in your immune system, and we're studying cell by cell now, very specifically, and this is one of those. And let me hit the button. So you see it's been stimulated. You can also see the cells are glowing a different color now. Isn't that interesting? Glowing a different color by the true light, yeah. By the very LEDs that are in this unit and the power ratio that's in this unit, by the way. So it gets stimulated. It's moving all over, cleaning house, breaking up cells. It licks and smells, and it's basically one of the house cleaners of your body. And with most people, the energy's so low, these cells are kind of sluggish, and they don't really move around a lot after 25, especially after 40. They really don't move. And we've done, I don't know how many of these tests, and I've seen it myself. They just don't move around a lot normally. And so it gets a signal. It heads up there, pushes somebody out of the way to get to something specific. And what's so exciting about this is intercellular communication, isn't it? Attacks that organism, and in the video you can see the organism, by the way. This is blown up large from a video tape. And destroys it, and you can see that in the video. See it go, destroy it, and then immediately goes right on doing its job, leaving a little nip in the cell there. We're very excited about this stuff. The implications, we're not into AIDS or anything like that now, but the implication here is if we can super boost your immune system, well, it's got to help, right? This kind of stuff has got to help. And that's part of the full body system that we're developing. We want to boost not only your cellular look, make you look younger, we want to boost you from inside of the atomic level to be super healthy human being. One of the blood people said, this cell looks like an athlete cell now, a super happy athlete that's on a good diet and everything. Now, one thing we have noticed in all the studies that we've done with blood, because we ask people to come back once a week. We just don't see them once. We want to get a history of them. We ask them to come back once a week, and we may process 25, 30 people a week at this rate. And we notice things in studying their history. Their blood is different on high light days and low light days. Their blood is different. But one thing we have noticed without fail, and you may have heard this, but I've seen it for myself, is that the people that have the best blood, no matter what their age, diet, or anything, the people that have the very best blood are happy people. We see it under the microscope almost every day. Almost every day. And their immune system looks like this without stimulation. But even in those cases, we can show you the videotape, we improve their immune system also. But they start out this way, happy blood. And I've got a blood guy that says, oh, happy blood, you know. And we've got guys so good, they can tell you what you had for breakfast. Can you imagine that? I'm serious. They can tell you if you've had whipped cream. I don't know, it's just amazing characters you can have work with you. But I've changed my diet, because I'm part of the blood test too. The interesting thing is that I'm an omnivore, I eat almost anything, but I eat with consciousness. I always eat with consciousness. And they've compared my blood to really pure vegetarians, and my blood is cleaner than the average vegetarian diet. That's because I'm into a consciousness thing. So basically, we're very excited about this sort of thing, and this is the slideshow. What I'd like to do now, I don't know, do we have time for just a few questions? Because I'd like to end with an invocation of something I learned on the other side. So we'll take a few questions. Hello, Phyllis is here. Hi, Phyllis. Just a second. Let me advance this. Good. Okay. We have not studied that. We have not touched it. Epilepsy and those kind of things. But I can tell you this, very interesting. We are now talking to a Dr. Jan Holden, University of Texas, who I've worked with before. She's a psychologist, and the research in Europe and our research shows that the steady use, the regular use of photonics does change your mental attitude to the positive. It's very, very interesting. It's a de-stressor. We know why. Secondly, it raises the energy in the body, and I know from the other side, and I think science is going to see too, that when you're low in energy, everything gets to you. We have found consistently that when we raise the energy in a human being, the issues seem to disappear, and there's something very interesting about this for psychology. People process much better when they're in their right energy configuration, energetically, to the point now that they have offered to do the psychological studies for us, and we're looking at things like that, because the Europeans have some very interesting data. We have seen that in our own work as a side effect. I know that I use photonics regularly, and my moods have stabilized way on the positive side. I have all the energy that I need. And we have noticed some odd things, though, that have been reported to us by people. One of which is some of the people that were using the units said that had warts said the warts were falling off. Well, there's some study in Germany for that we've looked into, but I wasn't interested in it. But people kept saying that. Now, I had a big plantar's wart right here for years. Never thought about it, but it was always noticeable. So I started using the device very sloppily for about a week, about once a day. And it fell off.
This concludes Side A. Please turn the tape over now for Side B.
We have not looked into that. We have not looked into everything in the world yet, but we will get around to things like that. It's important. Mm-hmm.
Explain a little bit what you were showing as far as the nature of God.
Got a couple hours on just that? Geez. Because what happens is I can bring an infinite amount of detail. Let's see some more questions here. Maybe it's something a little more in tune to tonight. What was your question? Very good. We have lots of testimonials documented. And what people have been doing is they've been putting it right where it hurts, and then if it jumps, as migraines will do, they put it over there. and they've been nipping them. And the sooner you start using them on a migraine, the better. Hormonal headaches for women, they're using the acupuncture meridians around the ankle and here, or right where it hurts. And we have documented testimonials on that work that we've done. Yeah, nip it in the bud. The sooner you use it, the better, before you let it get full blown. Now, we're not headache specialists, but we have been able to reproduce the work done in Europe on this, and we have many a documented testimonial of happy customer with this sort of thing, with migraines and hormonal headaches and things like that. Mm-hmm. Very good for any kind. You saw some of the reports there. Rheumatism, arthritis, very easy to address the pain and inflammation, you see. Mm-hmm. How we've been using it is you've got certain meridians that you can use it on that really are great lines of putting energy into the body. This is much better than acupuncture. Forgive me if there's any acupuncturists, but this is a new paradigm. If you looked at an acupuncture needle under electron microscope, you would see it's very dull indeed, and that when they shove a needle in you, they destroy a whole bunch of cells, causing a photon release. When cells die, they release their photons. Give up the ghost. They release their photons, which is measurable. You can actually photograph this even now in Germany. And wherever you have a cut, there's going to be more light leaking from you. Those psychics that say your aura's leaking, maybe there's something to it. We can prove it photonically now. But what a needle does, and we have electron microscopes of what a needle does to the tissue, is it damages a lot of tissue, causes a histamine effect, causes a photon release. So what you're doing is you're damaging the body to get some energy to that area, and that energy will, some of it will, not most of it, some of it will trickle up meridians. Now, I've been helped by acupuncture in the past, and I know friends that have had miracles with acupuncture because you're dealing with the energy body. But this system, needles rob energy from one part of the body to go to another part of the body and waste most of the energy along the way, honestly. I mean, this is proven. So what you do with photonics is you don't even have to hit the meridian because it covers such an area. And when it hits your body, it spreads out. It's absorbed like water in a sponge. So you just have to get near the meridian and you download energy and you're not robbing energy from other parts of the body. Now, one of the good things for the immune system is feel where your pulse is on your jugular vein. That's where it's closest to the surface. Take one or two of these right here, right on them, and in about 15, 20 minutes, your entire bloodstream, most of it, has passed by these points, energizing the blood as you've seen on the screen here. That's one of the ways. Two is good. In the future, months from now, we're going to come out with bigger units. This is the smallest we'll ever make. But we're busy experimenting with the type of designs and what do people really want from this technology. Oddly enough, I got too serious about healing with this. I got really serious about healing. And the odd thing is that we bring people in to show this, whether they're professional healers or what, even metaphysical healers, they come in and we're showing them all this wound healing. They're going, great, great, great. But the minute we mention wrinkles and varicose veins, we have their attention like I've never seen before in my life. I've been doing it I've been working too hard. It's weird. So it does that very well. So we're starting to focus on more of that now because what do people want with this? We're going to give them what they want with it. You want to heal, fine. The motto of our company for this technology is look better, feel better, live longer. You see? That's what this is all about. Mm-hmm.
Your demonstration out there, you can only see two lights, but I can see three there.
Well, this is one just for demo because a lot of people think that middle light isn't on. It's infrared and it's invisible to the human eye, but it is the brightest light in the unit. Yeah, show them. No, it's not broke. It's just that we use a rich matrix of frequencies, and only a very few of them are in the visible range, so that we don't go by color. That's not what we're looking for. And it's not the color of the light. We studied color healing. We studied sound healing. We studied that up the wazoo, and we never got the effect you saw on the screen today in the time. It's not the color we're using. Some of the frequencies are in the red-orange range, but only a few of them. The rest are in the invisible range, And the light energy, the radiant energy, is used as a carrier of the frequencies that I brought back from the other side. You get what I'm saying? It's not so much the light itself. The light is the carrier for the frequencies, the healing energy frequencies and pulse rates that I determined from the other side. So that's how it works. And there's been a whole lot of research in comparing lasers to LEDs, and now that's pretty much finished with Mayo Clinic and Stanford. And they have found that this is better than laser LEDs. So that's why we went this way and had custom ones designed to my specifications that would give us what we were looking for. And then we add in the chips, the special technology of the pulse rates and frequencies that your cells love. Your cells just love this stuff. Great for TMJ, and it's made for a contact, except for a burn or a rash. Great for TMJ. I had an earache not too long ago, and I don't have earaches usually, and I put it right on my ear, and I did that about 15 minutes, and a zit formed and processed itself, and my ear felt better, so I had some kind of something in there. Teeth, this penetrates quite deeply through flesh. Put it right on here. If you've got bleeding gums, receding gums, or dental surgery, or I'm not suggesting you don't see a dentist, but we've had a number of people that were due for root canals do this, and in pain, do this and not have to have the root canal. They went into regeneration, So it shoots through. It's good for your teeth. Sinuses, put it right where you would needles. Great for sinuses, things like that.
How about infant teeth?
Probably. We haven't tried that, but it's great for pain and swelling and things like that. Especially, it's 2 sittings for you on this. One is CW, continuous wave, with our frequencies, and that is for pain and swelling or sedation. That'll also create a serotonin release. And Lee's tried it. There's quite a bit of relaxation, isn't it? Everybody that tries the units, there's quite a bit of relaxation on that frequency. Now, the other one is pulsed wave, which is the energetic setting. So that will promote rapid wound healing or download energetic energy into your system if you want energy. That's the energy setting. Don't do it before you go to sleep. You'll be up. So, yes.
Is there a correlation with the hertz cycle at all?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Not only that, but Lee has seen me work with some scientists that we take all the numbers into account. Music notes, color, hertz, atomic weight. We take all of those numbers into account to come up with the numbers that we use for our frequency control. So we have considered everything from the music of the spheres, and oddly enough, and Lee was at one of our meetings, it all comes together. It all relates. Music, color, music of the spheres, frequencies, atomic weights, all of that. It's pretty amazing stuff how the universe is in such unison, really. Well, it's good for pain. We're not saying it'll do anything structural, but it's great for pain and swelling and things like that. It really is.
What is the physical basis for reincarnation?
Okay, that's a good one. That's one of my favorite ones because to me it's one of the great blessings and one of the great things about this life that we have. What I saw about reincarnation was that it's very, very simple. It's closer to magnetics than anything any philosophers come up with. It's simple magnetics. It has to deal with when you're in body, you're in a dense body, you're dense energy. We make the transition, what we call death, into a subtle energy and back again. It's very similar to precipitation, rain. You've got a dense body of the ocean that evaporates into more subtle energy, coalesces, and reincarnates again as rain. We are no different than the natural cycle. That's the mistake scientists and intellectuals make, is they assume we're different than the rest of the cycle. We are not any different than anything else that goes on in nature. Reincarnation is very similar to how rain is made. The Earth's electromagnetic field, the toroidal shape, is one of the great processors of subtle energy. The magnetosphere, the core of the Earth, all of that is a great processor of highly intelligent, regenerative, cumulative intelligence and energy. Accumulating it all the time and learning, and growing all the time. Now, When you die, your dense body disintegrates. What survives the physical death is the subtle energy body, your nuclear body, the subatomic body. This is going to be measurable in the near future. What we call spirit is physics. One of the things when I work with physics people is that they like is they say, Mellen, you really give me something to work with. When I explain to them that everything this side of the Big Bang is physical. Everything. There's nothing non-physical or metaphysical this side of the Big Bang. Before the Big Bang is before the first vibration, or in the metaphor, the word. First there was the word, then the universe. The word is the vibration. Everything beyond the Big Bang and in the void, there is no vibration or experience. Everything this side of the Big Bang, or like you have the dark and the light side of the yin-yang, everything this side of the Big Bang has vibration. It is measurable. It is tangible. Whether we have the technology right now or not to measure it or deal with it is something that we'll grow into. So what spirit is your subtle energy body that is recycling all the time, just as your dense body recycles on this planet. You go back into the minerals. Where do the minerals come? They come out through your parents again. So we're always reincarnating on I don't know how many levels. It's amazing how many levels we reincarnate on. You can reincarnate by having your ideas go through history, your children, your subtle energy body, your dense body, the minerals in you have been recycled many, many times. Many times. You may have some of the stuff that Jesus had in his body in you by now. Now, what's interesting is that they cannot find where memory is in the body. They can't find it. Because I've got videos of people that lose half their brains and they're still fully functional. And one of my favorite studies is from England about the hypocephalic babies, waterhead babies. Well, I never knew this, but there's a lot of them that grow up and survive. And I have the CAT scans. They grow up, they go to college, they get PhDs, and guess what? When you CAT scan them, they have no brain. The head is empty with that much brain tissue around the outside. Amazing stuff. I mean, it's just wild stuff. Yet they're fully functional, PhDs. And I've got a full brain, I can't even do that. So when you die, your memory is mostly in the subtle energy body, the nuclear body. The memory systems in the human being are multiple redundant. There's no one simple system. That's why memory can move around. The latest studies show that your brain does not know how to walk. It's stored in the muscles, the muscle memories. That's how you can walk. And it's not your brain. Your muscles remember how to walk once they learn. So that's memory. You've got memory all over the place. Plus the universal memory of the species, the cellular genetic memory of the species, and all these levels of it. But when you die, the subtle energy body, which has in it all of the memory of everywhere, everything you've ever done, and not only that, everything you've ever seen, touched, smelled, or heard, or anything, you still have that memory. That's the memory that survives death. Your subtle energy body survives death. Most people reincarnate very quickly in cosmic time, which means within a generation or two. It's automatic until you get into higher consciousness. It's what I call the animal level of reincarnation. You usually come back into the same bloodline, the same family group repeatedly until the bloodline dies out or breaks up or consciousness changes it. And that's been kind of a trap up till now, being caught in the same family bloodline repeatedly, not being able to get out of it. Some people relate to that. But that's why the breakup of the modern family in the modern world is one of the best things that could ever happen to us. Because now we're forming families that cross bloodlines every day. We're making people part of our family that never had any bloodline with us. You see what I mean? So when it's so important, the moment of death is more important than any other part of the death experience. Because the feelings, the emotions, the consciousness at the moment of death determine your reentry and who you reenter with. And believe me, you don't go searching out Jane Doe, who was my parent in the past life. That's not what happens. That's an intellectual concept. We're all the same being anyway. When you reincarnate, the people that were your parents in the past may not be mating at the time. What are you going to do? Well, you aren't looking for them anyway. What you're looking for is a pure energy connection of the closest matrix to fit your matrix. Whatever your issues are, child abuse, wealth, whatever your issues are, that's what is your attractor that brings you back in to the target. You see what I mean? You get what I'm saying? I can draw graphs of it for you. It's very simple stuff. So the moment of death is so important.